Whoa! New AirPods apparently are dropping next month? That seems rather fast. Why didn't we get more of a heads up? Well, this is as good as a heads up as we're gonna get, but in today's video I thought I would dive into what could Generation 3 AirPods be. So this is not a follow-up to AirPods Pro. This is not AirPods, Sport Edition or anything like that. This is just supposedly a follow-up generation to AirPods 2, so either way, we gotta talk about it. Let's begin. So the timeline with AirPod launches are very iffy and kind of unpredictable because initially they were launched in 2016 with the iPhone 7 for 160 bucks, one color, one size. That was it, and they did nothing with it until 2019. So a full 3 years of just selling AirPods full price, never changed anything about them until March of 2019, which honestly was not that long ago when they decided, hey, let's put in, Qi charging and we'll update the CPU inside, and they did that by adding the H1 chip, which improved the talk time on these things, and it really didn't do much, to be honest. Like, it improved latency a little bit, it improved the pair time and the time it takes to switch between devices, but for the most part, H1 chip was pretty minor update. So we had that in March, and then of course in October we had AirPods Pro, where we got active noise cancellation and the redesign, obviously, a noticeable upgrade, very, very different from before. We had sound quality improvements, we had the force sensor instead of, tapping the AirPods, and that's pretty much how Apple's left it since then. But now we have some leakers with decent track records, especially when it comes to, predicting things a couple of weeks before they come out. We have people like Jon Prosser and Love to Dream both saying that AirPods are going to be dropping with the new MacBook Pro next month. So what are the differences with these AirPods? No one can really give us a good answer because all they're really saying is, well, AirPods are coming of some kind. They don't want to talk about the features or the differences or the changes, but the only information we got is from Love to Dream, which is saying, when someone asked, are the new AirPods going to be like, Gen 3? Or are they going to be another version of AirPods Pro? He said they're going to be like the iPhone SE, which, God, if you guys know something, can you just tell us? I hate all this vagueness, but either way, if I had to guess what he means by that, is that hopefully it's a traditional design with a lower starting price, which I think everybody would appreciate. So my personal guess, and for those of you who think this channel is only talking about news, I mean, most of what I talk about on this channel is taking the news and then giving you my opinions on it. So if you're confused as to why I'm talking about something that's just opinion based, that's the whole shtick of this channel. I'm sorry if you thought this was just, updating you guys on what's going on, but my personal prediction is that AirPods Gen 3 will drop next month, and they will basically look just like this. The only difference will be probably some type of updated CPU and a different starting price. My hope, my real big hope, is that they ditch the AirPods that don't come with a wireless charge case and just make it a standard feature now, so anybody who buys AirPods Gen 3 will have wireless charging. And this new H2 chip that they might put in here could improve, battery life, maybe talk time and latency and that kind of thing, but the sound quality is going to be the same, and it would be really cool if they lowered the starting price as a whole, because AirPods, for the most part, fundamentally haven't changed very much since 2016, and if Apple's found a way to manufacture these things better, or maybe they're collecting such a high profit margin off of AirPods Pro, they just decide to lower their starting price because they're getting undercut by a lot of competitors right now, between Galaxy Buds, Raycons, and, thousands of other wireless earbuds that have blossomed from this market. If they wanted to be more competitive and make sure AirPods stays in the lead, making, updated AirPods with decent battery life and minor improvements here and there, but they start at like $130 instead of $160, and they come with wireless charging by default and everything, I think they would be a huge home run. But it would definitely kind of destroy the meme, though, of the like, I'm rich boy, flex my AirPods on you. That kind of ruins it if you're like, hey, these AirPods are more affordable, and now everyone who has AirPods is gonna feel a lot more broke. But yeah, let me fully preface this by saying that's my prediction. There are no leaks or analysts claiming anything I just said. They're just saying AirPods of some kind coming next month. And yeah, these are totally separate, by the way, from the over-ears. So don't think that just because new AirPods are coming out next month, that means that the Apple over-ears, which have been rumored for a long time, are dropping in May. Those apparently are still not going to be unveiled until Worldwide Developers Conference, and Jon Prosser also said there's AirPods X coming, which is separate from this as well. I had to reach out to him just to clarify. I'm like, are the ones coming out next month different from the sport ones? So I don't know. I mean, Apple makes a lot from wearables, I guess, so maybe they want to differentiate and complicate this lineup more and more. But yeah, if the leakers and analysts end up being right, which I'll leave the choice to believe them up to you guys, it means we're getting new AirPods next month, and then we're getting over-ears in June, and then potentially when the new iPhones drop, or at some point near the end of the year, they're gonna drop a sporty, you know, Power Beats kind of looking version of AirPods that will be specifically targeted at, you know, using when you work out or play games. 3 different kinds of AirPods launches. I mean, some people are even saying an AirPods Pro refresh is happening at the end of this year, and I'm sorry, between all of these different leaks, I just have to believe someone's wrong. There's too many leaks and too many bits of information for me to think that every single one of these claims is going to end up being true, and Apple's going to release like 4 different types of AirPods and headwear within like the next 8 months. Like within 8 months, they're going to drop all of this stuff. I don't know. Something's off. Something's going to be a little bit wrong, but like I said, wearables sell well, so maybe that's why Apple's giving so much attention to it this year, and some are claiming that Apple's going to try to like take over the Beats brand and slowly kill it off and just adopt the technology they got from Beats and the brand recognition and then just incorporate it into standard Apple headphones. So maybe this is part of that process and we're just, you know, seeing the very, very beginning of it. But to finally go back to AirPods 3, I don't think there's going to be a big design change, you know. If there was some type of redesign coming with this version, I feel like we would have known about it by now, because if they're launching it next month, they've gotta have it, you know, almost ready or in production by now. And if it was in production by now, then we would know about some type of design tweaks. You know, I saw some people saying they wanted A-on-C on these AirPods, but it really doesn't make sense because these things are designed to let all sound from around you get in regardless. So trying to add A-on-C to these would not work very well, especially because AirPods Pro, that's like their target advantage. Like that's the main reason you would buy those, so they wouldn't take that away from it. And some people were making concepts of these AirPods, but with a shorter stem, which again, I feel like we would have seen photos or leaked images of it by now. I even saw some people say that they might bring that like force sensor that we got on the AirPods Pro and bring it to these. I mean, I guess they could if they believe that the force sensor is better than the tap, but in my opinion, if the new AirPods are supposed to be like the iPhone SE, that means, you know, updated internals with traditional design at a decent competitive starting price. So that's why my personal prediction is wireless charging for the case will become a standard. The CPU will get a boost with an H2 chip, which maybe they're going to incorporate into the over-ear headphones, I don't know, but slightly better battery life, no changes to sound quality, and a lower starting price of like 130 bucks. That's my guess, but please don't take my word for it because I have a horrible track record. I get things right about 2% of the time, so if this is one of those times, that'll be really hilarious. But what do you guys think is going to happen? Feel free to hit me up over on Twitter, join my Discord, and we can speculate endlessly more over there. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I don't want to have a third pair of AirPods. So I'm gonna have to do something with these. I'll see you in the next one.